Test. Good? Yeah. Everyone can see. Hi everybody, my name is Nick Bonadillo. I'm the CEO of Numberfire. Numberfire is a sports analytics framework designed to empower sports consumers to make smarter decisions. Sports are everywhere, but right now we're focusing on the very lucrative fantasy sports market. There are 30 million people who play fantasy sports and spend on average 9 hours a week on fantasy sports. But they're not hardcore people, they're average people just like you and me. In fact, they're so average, there's actually a TV show about it, The League by FX. Roll it.
Alright, thinking we need to up the ante a little bit, alright? I think we need a new trophy. We can't have a new trophy. I'm upset about what Andre did to Toshiba too, but until someone else wins at Toshiba, I'm talking about a last place trophy. Think about it, alright? I'm a mortal lock for Toshiba. You guys need some scraps to kind of tussle and fight over. Hey, do you have anything to fill your sad existence of a life besides fantasy football? Absolutely not. You guys? It is, I guess, and it sucks.
So that's your average fantasy football fan. They spend $150 a year on leagues, which translates in direct a $5 billion market just in fantasy sports. Now, that's the immediate picture. I'd like to take a little detour now and talk about the big picture. The one big picture, the advertising, that's right. There's $20 to $50 CPM in the fantasy sports market, and I apologize for that. We'll get it in rehearsal. Next time. So, God, 150 million. 150.
You can look at,
Yeah.
look at that screen.
Was that?
You can look at that
Oh,
screen.
that's great. Okay. The top 5 sports websites, ESPN, Sports Nation, or SB Nation, Yahoo, NBC, and CBS, command 150 monthly page views. And if you've ever been to those websites, you know just how much they point to fantasy football as a huge revenue driver for them. But enough about fantasy sports. Let's talk about the big picture. Now, there's $55 billion being passed around in handicapping, from the information that we pass on to Vegas, to players, teams, and so on. That's one possible application of the data we derive from sports analytics. Another one is around sports. There's a bunch of ancillary markets for retail, team gear, and ticketing, all of which data will help us reach. The flash one is, imagine a world where you're a marketer and you want to figure out, I've got $10 million, who do I want to invest in? Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, or another athlete. We can work with agencies to help them figure out who will return the highest ROI on an athlete, sort of like a sport class. Now, going back to the problem, so going back to fantasy sports. On a Sunday, suddenly Matthew Berry receives 100 tweets out of a minute asking him, who do I start? Do I start player X or player Y? If Twitter doesn't work, sometimes you might go to ESPN and see amazing insight like this. I just don't like it this week. It's as simple as that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't feel particularly confident in making decisions based off of insight like that. So what we do at Numberfire is we look at all the data that exists around sports and mine it for efficiency. Now, if you go look at just regular sports stats and look at this, it's unsemantic, it makes no sense, it's just a mass of data. You, as a consumer, have a very hard time digesting this to make decisions. Another way to look at it is the play-by-play. What about this can tell you anything about the actual value or efficiency of the players? What we do is we take that large, unstructured, semantic data set and put it in our database. And then when we do that, once it's in our database, we scrub it and we apply the magic healing power of math. You guys probably know me enough by now to know that I enjoy math. Math is the solution to all of our problems. And once we have that, it allows us to make unprecedentedly accurate and best-in-breed scientific projections for players. Now, for example, someone like Tom Brady, everyone knows he's a good player, but do you know how good he is? We do. We know that he provides an extra 125 points to his team versus another player. On the defensive side, let's take someone like Pittsburgh. Everyone knows they've got a great rushing defense, but do you know? That's funny. Do you know how good defense really are? They stop an average of 37 points versus the average defense. Once you know that, then you can do a lot of really cool things with the product, like make smart projections, like help people win their Vegas bets, and so on. So this is a screenshot of a live product right now. Like I said, we take that massively unstructured data set and mine it into a perfectly digestible and actionable consumer-based website, both on our side and also on our partner side. This is a live screenshot from SB Nation, our biggest partner. This is running on the left side right now. SB Nation has an audience of 8 to 10 million people, and they're running our stuff upwards of 10 to 15 times a day. Now, moving forward, why are we more accurate? So, as I said before, we take in the data, we look at it, and we make smarter predictions. We can do anything if we weren't right. That 30% represents the amount of time ESPN is smarter than us. The 70% of the time represents all the times we're smarter than ESPN. When you use the power of math, and you use the power of numbers, you make smarter decisions, you end up winning your leagues, you end up winning your bets, and moving forward, your companies make smarter ROI decisions. Now let's talk about traction. So because we're right 7 times out of 10, people tend to pick up on that. That's sort of a statistic in which people think, well, geez, I won't win my league. We've got 12,000 users in the past 2 months registered. We have 500,000 monthly page views, and that's accelerating 50% month to month moving forward. Additionally to that, the emails we send out to our incredibly lucrative and homogeneous audience is receiving unprecedented 65% click-through rates. A lot of people ask us, well, geez, what kind of industries have retention rates like that? And the only one I can think of is a certain aspect of the pharmaceutical industry. But people ask us, are you selling crack? Not necessarily. We're selling sports crack and math crack. And that's why we have 55% retention rate. Now, here are our partners. As I mentioned, we have SB Nation, one of the top 5 sports media brands, Sports Illustrated, also top 5, Bleacher Report, which is number 3, and also Cinesport. These partnerships moving forward allow us to get our content off of our site and onto their massive audiences, which we make money off of down the road. Now, the roadmap. So our roadmap is what I like to call the B roadmap. The first B is build. We're builders, we're engineers. We're in football right now, we're going to build basketball, we're going to build baseball, we're going to leverage the amount of traction we have now to expand our marketplace. The next E is engage. Everyone here applies to using social and viral. Numbers are one thing, but user-generated content, retention, creating a community around the numbers is another thing. We're very strongly into social and believe that's a big part of our platform. The third one is expand. Once you have partners, once you have sports, the place to go is the bigger picture. As I mentioned before, there are many lucrative opportunities in the data space for us to expand our business to something much, much larger. And the final P is partner. Like I said, we have 3 out of the top 5 sports media websites, but we're not happy with that. I want 5. I want ESPN, I want Yahoo, and believe you me, we have emails that calls into that. Now let's talk about where we're at. So, on the team. I'm Nick, I'm the hacker. I'm also the CEO. This is Sean, he's the hustler. He just wants you to know. And Keith Goldberg is the calculator. That's our team. I'm from Carnegie Mellon, as is Sean. Keith is from Northwestern. My background is in building out large consumer websites for Work Market, SpongeCell, and Yahoo. Keith has a background in sports analytics with the 76 Series, ESPN, and Thunder. And Sean's got an operational background from NYU Law and running his own business with Local Buzz. That's our company, but let's talk about where we're going. So right now we're raising $750,000 for us to operate for the next 18 months and really capitalize on the massive traction that we have. Right now, 18 months, quick. We've raised about $400,000 of that committed. What we're looking for now is operational and strategic partners that will allow us to expand our brand into larger audiences, like ESPN and Yahoo, with the leagues and TV networks. So strategic partners that will really help us blow it up. The investor is RE. They said they committed to us, and we're really excited to have them. And if Will Portis was here, I'd point him out, and he's not, maybe Friday. And that is that. I'm Nick, CEO of Numberfire. We'll be wearing bright, bright green t-shirts on Friday. Come and talk to us. Thank you and good night.